As I mentioned in my Golden Circle Part 1 video, I'm a really big fan of mixing wilderness and city when I travel, and that's really easy to do in Iceland, specifically around the Reykjavik area, because there's a lot of amazing stuff within hour or less than an hour drive of Reykjavik, and that is called the Golden Circle. We visited 3 stops in the Part 1 Golden Circle video, and we're going to be visiting 3 more today, and a couple little bonus stops. Our first bonus stop is this just little lookout point on the side of the roads, overlooking this very magical, surreal, almost alien looking landscape. I'm not sure if this is a stop that a lot of people take off of the Golden Circle, but our family opted to go see a geothermal power plant because we are all super into geothermal energy and science and that kind of stuff. So we were super excited to visit on power, and I made a whole video about that visit that you can link to here if you're into that. But I'm only going to show you a few little clips today. Person to be down there for like perspective, like these are so big.
Yes, say that.
These are huge. Very huge. The trip to the thermal river was a really unique experience. There was a cafe down at the bottom to start with, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But it was just completely my vibe, and I was very happy to be there. It's super bougie looking. Right, rules of engagement. Yes, you can swim. You cannot put trash. Don't start a fire. Don't camp here, and don't take a shower here. Got it. Thermal river. Tested it, it's warm. I don't think I just want to put my heels in it that way. I think the rest of me might be cold. All this water combined into one river. The hike up was so magical. The view became more idyllic, fairy tale like the higher we climbed. The day was kind of cold, and so there was some thick mist that was kind of surrounding all of the mountains and ridges at certain points. Sometimes it would lift, sometimes it was thicker. There was also mist coming off of the hot springs, the ones that were hot. The cold ones, no mist. That was kind of cool to like look at them and try to guess which one was which.
Really terrible.
And it smells like eggs. When you got close to some of those hot water springs, you would see interesting things growing in the water. What's wrong? Oh, yeah. Did you put your hand in there? Oh my gosh, my phone is getting warmer. Like I can feel the heat here.
It's not that hot.
It's boiling.
I can feel that.
It was almost like looking like at a deep into the ocean, what I would imagine would be down there, obviously, but with color, because deep in the ocean there's probably no color. But it was fascinating. It was so fascinating seeing all the weird stuff that was growing in the hot springs and everywhere. There were also colorful what looked like mineral deposits in some areas. When something like lava or minerals comes up out of the earth, it's like you're getting to see into a whole other world that lies beneath that we can't see, but we are somehow getting to experience a little piece of it. There were also bridges, little bridges, and I love little bridges so much. Well, I like big bridges too, but like little bridges over a little stream. Oh, it was so quaint. We also saw sheep grazing. We saw people taking pictures of the sheep grazing. The hike was kind of long though. It was over an hour, and at a certain point I remember feeling a little bit freaked out, like, oh, are we gonna get here? When is this ending? I was concerned personally about running out of energy just because I have a lot of health issues, energy issues. The good thing is that it never actually got dark the whole time we were in Iceland, the whole 2 weeks. So even if the hike had gone longer than expected, we weren't in danger of getting stuck out in a place we weren't familiar with after dark. The reward of getting to sit in a beautiful hot spring at the end of this long hike was particularly sweet. Yeah, we went to 2 other lagoons. The boys didn't go to any. They didn't want to. One of them got a tattoo and couldn't go in. The other one was uninterested for whatever reason, which is fine because they're expensive. We all went into the river, the thermal river, which everyone loved. It was really great, right? No?
Yeah. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, there's that footage of you that I probably shouldn't show with your ears.
I mean,
your shoulders up to your ears. You were so cold.
Yes, it was really cold. The river was great. Getting in and out of the river was not great.
So uncomfortable. Right. That was cold and unpleasant. It was a cold, windy day. You hike up there, but you get really hot hiking up there. It takes like an hour to hike up, but you can get like they have a really nice cafe at the base. In fact, all of the places on the ring road that we went to have, not all of them, but most of them have like a really nice cafe. What would you call it? They have nice bathrooms, the gift shop at each attraction. And this one I loved the most. It was just the most aesthetic place in the world. I would buy a house right next to it so I could go every day if I could. But you could get like a nice warm coffee or something at the beginning or cocoa to give yourself some energy to hike up there. It's about an hour hike, and then you have to change outside behind. They have these partitions that you can change behind.
Oh, dude, is it getting hotter and colder?
The thermal river was really kind of an interesting experience, not just because, you're sitting in like a natural made hot tub, which is really, really amazing, but also because of the way it's created. It's created by a cold stream and a warm stream, or like boiling hot stream, and the 2 mixing is where you want to sit. You'd need to scoot all over the place to find an area where the water was mixing appropriately so you don't burn or freeze yourself. Once you found that sweet spot, it was really chill, relaxing, beautiful experience. It was quite magical. This isn't really one of the places that we set out to visit along the Golden Circle, but it was a place that we visited once or maybe twice, and that was this, I don't even know what to call it. It wasn't exactly a restaurant, it wasn't exactly a store, but it had a really nice buffet, if I remember correctly. And it was a really nice stop because the owner would chat with us, and it was just really cozy. And there were a lot of places like that, not only along the Golden Circle, but just in Iceland in general. I was not expecting to be impressed with Kerid Crater, but once we got there and had our little hike around it, I was pretty blown away by how beautiful it was. It was a really nice relaxing but challenging enough hike. It didn't have the best visitor center, at least I couldn't find it. It wasn't in an obvious location. Looking at pictures of Kerid Crater online while prepping for the trip was kind of underwhelming, but it was much more beautiful up in person. The water, the color of the water was it was just this certain blue that was just a magical blue color that you see in a lot of Icelandic water things because of like different minerals that have seeped into the water and dyed it the beautiful aquamarine color. They think that it was a volcano that exploded, threw out all its guts, and then kind of collapsed in on itself, and now is a big hole of nothingness that fills up with rainwater. Still red on the sides because it's actually pretty young. Let me look it up. It's approximately 3,000 years old, which is about half the age of most of the other volcanic calderas around Iceland. And so its dirt is still really red. The dirt reminded me a lot of the dirt in Nairobi, Kenya. Nairobi is on a plateau and has a lot of volcanic soil. It was very nostalgic to see the red soil for me, and unexpected in such a different landscape than Nairobi. The red earth contrasted so dramatically with both the plants and the water. And it was one of the few areas that we saw trees. In fact, I think it was the first time we had seen tall trees in Iceland. Iceland's infamous for not really having tall trees, even though you'd think it's kind of like north, it would have a lot of pine trees. But it really doesn't, because it was cleared at some point. But there was a tree rehabilitation area near Kerid Crater. There's efforts for reforestation going on in Iceland, and we saw a forest by the crater, and we also saw it in Akureyri, which I will link above here to another video. Yay! So that concludes part 2 of the Golden Circle. And I hope that you can join me while my family visits the Ring Road in the next couple of Iceland videos. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!